Hello and welcome everyone, this is Adam from Critical Impact Gaming, and today I actually have two battles in one video for you because I wanted to showcase the team that got me to Master Ball tier in Ranked Doubles Series 3. So it is actually a Gigantamax LAPRAS team, which has really been spiking in popularity ever since it became available in the official VGC rules. So yeah, I thought I'd make a good team and it actually got me all the way to Master Ball tier. So I'm going to lead off with the LAPRAS and the Excadrill, as my opponent leads off with their Raichu and their Venusaur. Now immediately I'm going to want to fire off a G-Max Resonance on the Venusaur slot and go for a Protect with my Excadrill, because I know he's going to go for the Fake Out with his Raichu to break my Sash and get a little bit of chip damage as well, so his Venusaur could potentially take me out with a Earth Power or Giga Drain on the following turn. So I'm just gonna do my best to prevent my Sash from breaking, because I feel like Excadrill is gonna be very important in this match. I shouldn't say match; it's just a single battle. So he does do that, and unfortunately his Venusaur is going to be able to land a Sleep Powder, which I was hoping he'd just go for a Giga Drain, trying to get off some damage right off the bat. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. And thankfully, because of that Protect, my Focus Sash is still safely intact, and so I'm free to go for a high horsepower onto the Raichu slot, since I will be able to outspeed the Venusaur because I am a Jolly Nature Excadrill and not Adamant. I've been thinking about switching it to Adamant, but I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of a weird speed tier. But he actually just goes into the Incineroar. And like, I mean, that kind of sucks, but at the same time, he did just go for the electric attack, was a Volt Switch, I think, onto my G-Max LAPRAS, activating my weakness policy, so it's honestly not all too bad. This is only going to be the second turn now. Yeah, just the second turn of my Gigantamax. So I still have one more turn to utilize my LAPRAS to its full potential. So I'm going to go for that high horsepower on the Raichu slot. He does bring in the Kingler, but it still does a little bit under half, like maybe a third. Which is actually surprising considering I'm at -1 because of the Incineroar's Intimidate. So I did just fire off that Max Resonance because I want to get off my Light Screen Reflect combo right there. And that's all dandy, because now I should be able to lift some hits from the Incineroar, and even if his Gigantamax Kingler. I can't believe I almost forgot Kingler's name. That's funny. I just did a Krabby Sweep video too, so that's funny that I almost forgot Kingler's name. But he's just gonna go G-Max like I said, but it's not really too big of a deal for me. Kingler does have the same attack stat as Gyarados, which is kind of scary, but he does not have the same ability as Gyarados, nor does he have the speed. So that's honestly fine by me. He's gonna go for the Max Rockfall, set up the Sandstorm, and it does almost nothing to my LAPRAS, honestly, because of my my G-Max Resonance I set up a little bit ago. And I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Max Lightning, which will also prevent me from falling asleep for the next 5 turns as well, because I have Electric Terrain up. And I honestly love that the fact that Electric Terrain prevents sleep, because now I can kind of control the field a little bit better. He does go for the Parting Shot onto my, I think it was onto my LAPRAS, but that's fine. I should still be a +1 after that Parting Shot because of my weakness policy from earlier. He doesn't know if I'm Sand Rush though, or you know what? No, he does. He does. It was revealed on the first turn that I do have the Mold Breakers, so that's actually my bad. So now my 3 turns are up, and I will just revert back to my standard form LAPRAS, and I think I'm going to go for the Protect here because I don't want to get hit by a T-Bolt or a Giga Drain, because I am actually, it's a range where it could potentially KO me if he's modest with either of those two. He does go for the Volt Switch onto my LAPRAS slot, which is a good enough prediction for me because it allows me to take out his Raichu with 1 high horsepower, since it does not have the Air Balloon, and he actually ended up double targeting my LAPRAS because he probably wasn't sure if he could KO me either with my G-Max Resonance up. So that is a perfect play for me, because now he just has the Venusaur, the Incineroar, and I think he still has one more in the back, right? So it should be, oh no, it's just the Venusaur and the Incineroar. So that's good for me because I still have all 4 of my Pokemon as to my opponents too, and I have my Reflecting Light Screen up. So I'm going to save my LAPRAS for later just in case I need to sponge a few hits from the Incineroar, and I'm going to go into my Venusaur because I felt like he's just going to go for the Giga Drain anyway, and I quad resist that, even with the critical hit that did practically nothing. So he's going to go for the Flare Blitz. It does not even kill me, which is fantastic. He gets a little bit of recoil damage, and I am still the fastest spawn on the field now with my Excadrill. meaning that I should be able to KO him even with the -1 and the Figgy Berry recovery. So I'm gonna go for a Sludge Bomb just because that's my strongest stab move against the Venusaur, and really my best option. I was kind of considering whether I want to go for the Rock Slide and get some dual damage, but I'm like, no, I don't want to risk missing it. I'd go for the high horsepower, and unfortunately I do not KO it. I thought I would even at -1. Or was I -2? I might have been at -2 actually. So that's that's my bad there. I go for the Sludge Bomb. That does hella damage because I am modest life orb max attack, and my opponent does actually score the KO on both of my Pokemon this turn. So now it's back down to 2-2. But his Incineroar goes down to its own recoil damage, leaving it to a 2-1 advantage in my favor. I do have my Lapras and my Togekiss left over, so that's more or less game right there. I pretty much just have to not get hit by 2 turns of sleep. I mean, theoretically, they could still win if I miss an Air Slash. They put my Togekiss to sleep, and my Freeze Dry doesn't kill or something like that. I don't know, theoretically. So he does just go for the Protect, as I obviously double target. I kind of have to at this point, but the Sandstorm runs out this turn, as well as the Electric Terrain, which doesn't really affect me. I mean, it means he can put me asleep now, but that's not a big deal because I should be able to take him out either way. As he does go for the Sleep Powder against my Togekiss, which shows me that he's actually Tim in nature, which isn't important anymore, but it's good to know that people are still running Tim in nature of Venusaur. So I'm gonna go for the Freeze Dry and take him out. So I hope you guys enjoyed that first one, and I'm just gonna cut to the next battle that I find. Alright, and here we are. It's a beautiful day in Hullberry Stadium, and my opponent's gonna be named Andrea, or Andrea. I'm not entirely sure on how they're pronouncing that. But anyways, they're actually gonna lead off with their Excadrill and him on top, and I'm gonna lead off with my Venusaur and Excadrill. And so yeah, this is actually looking like some 5th gen right here. 5th gen with updated graphics. So he's gonna fire up the Intimidate ability, as I just go for the Sleep Powder right off the bat on the Excadrill slot, and Protect with my Excadrill because I know that either a Fake Out or a Close Combat or a High Horsepower is coming my way. Either way, I know he's gonna be targeting down my Excadrill. He actually goes for a Protect with his own Excadrill, which okay, that's fine. He goes for the Fake Out on my Excadrill, and the Sleep Powder misses his Excadrill. So there's a lot of shit going on with Excadrills on this turn. So and I mean, realistically, that was just a waste of a first turn. But I am just gonna switch out my Excadrill slot into the Dusclops, the Galar Champion, who is Square Shiny. And I do have the Frisk ability, allowing me to find out that he has the Eject button and the Life Orb on him on top and his Excadrill respectively. So he's just going to go for the Dynamax right off the bat with his Excadrill, probably going to fire off either a Max Quake or a Max Rockfall. Either one is going to be kind of scary, as I thought he was just going to go for the Close Combat onto my Excadrill slot with him on top. That's why I switched into Dusclops in the first place, but he actually goes for the Helping Hand, which with that boost does allow him to KO my Venusaur with the Max Quake, and also get the +1 in special defense for both his him on top and Excadrill. So that's kind of scary for me. At this point, I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place, so I'm going to have to send out my Excadrill, and unfortunately I'm going to have to stall just a little bit in the form of going for Protect and either going for a Trick Room or a Will-O-Wisp. I figured that my Excadrill being faster than his him on top and being potentially a speed tie with his own Excadrill would be better, so I'm not going to go for a Trick Room. I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and hopefully it'll hit the Excadrill slot. As he fires off his Max Steel Spike, giving him a defense boost for both of his Pokemon. So that sucks. That's even scarier, but fortunately enough for me, he does go for the Close Combat onto my Excadrill slot, and I'm protected so I don't take any damage, and my Will-O-Wisp does land, so that's honestly perfect for me. Could not have asked for a better turn in this scenario. So now I'm going to decide whether I want to go for a Trick Room or if I'm going to go for a Pain Split, and I'm just not feeling Trick Room in this battle. So I will go for the Pain Split to get back a little bit of HP as I go for the High Horsepower first, you know, before the Pain Split obviously, because I'm faster. And force a switch out so I don't even have to deal with the Close Combat right there. I will have to deal with the Intimidate from him on top coming back in later on, but it's not that big of a deal because at least his Excadrill is burned, and I live with my sash, so that's all cool and dandy. As long as he doesn't have Ice Shard with his Lapras, I should be fine, really. I mean, if he has Sucker Punch with his own Hitmontop, that kind of sucks too. But honestly, at this point, my main concern was the Excadrill, but since it's burnt and its Dynamax turns are up, that's a big relief on my end. So now I'm thinking, okay, I can go for a high horsepower, or I can just scout out for the Ice Shard and go for the Protect. So now I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp on his Lapras as well, just because I want to get the chip damage, and also see if he's running the Leftovers or Assault Vest or the Weakness Policy. It's most likely Weakness Policy, but seeing as how he didn't Gigantamax with it, it could be the Assault Vest or Leftover set. Either way though, my opposition knows that I'm aware of his Ice Shard, so I thought he would just overpredict me switching out and go for either a T-Bolt to deal with my own potential Lapras in the back, or just double target my Dusclops because it is becoming a threat to him. So I just go for the Will-O-Wisp one more time here because like I said, I just want to go for the residual damage. Unfortunately for me, my Excadrill does go down to the Ice Shard, so he's not really trying to overpredict too much there, which is good for my opponent, bad for me. Luckily though, I am able to finally hit that Will-O-Wisp after the second attempt. Now, I feel like I should have preserved my Excadrill a little bit better there and just gone for the hard switch into Lapras, just risking it, risking the T-Bolt, but at least now I get a safe switch into my Lapras, and I haven't gone for my my Dynamax or Gigantamax yet. So I'm kind of trying to decide whether I want to go for the Max Lightning or the G-Max Resonance. I do go for the G-Max Resonance because I'm still not entirely sure if he's the Weakness Policy set. I don't want him to live and then retaliate and defeat me with T-Bolt of his own. So I go for the G-Max Resonance, targeting his Excadrill slot, since I'm pretty sure that'll KO it, seeing as how I am Modest Max Special Attack, and that'll be able to get up my Light Screen and Reflect combo going once more. So it looks like that was actually the correct play for me, because he just goes for the Protect with his own Lapras and tries to get the flinch off with the Iron Head against my Dusclops, which you'll see in just a moment here. It does actually pay off for him. I mean, nothing will have really happened in the first place because he did Protect, so I mean, I guess I could have gotten off a Trick Room, but the flinch didn't really matter there. So now he still has his Hitmontop in the back and one more that I'm still unaware of at this point, but he's gonna bring out his Togekiss, revealing that, and I'm kind of scared because I'm probably gonna lose this one. Like, it honestly depends what set his Togekiss is. If he's got the Super Luck, then he could crit my Dusclops, or if he has Serene Grace, he could try to flinch my Dusclops and then proceed to try to flinch my Lapras once my last turn of Gigantamax is up. Fortunately enough for me, that G-Max Resonance does do a pretty hefty chunk. I am able to survive the freeze dry right there, and I get off a Pain Split, allowing me to get all the way back up to 121, bringing his Lapras down to half health in the process. So that is actually a great turn for me. It really helped turn the tides for this battle. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's gonna follow me, or maybe he's gonna yawn. So I'm just gonna go for the Max Lightning in either case, just so I can prevent the sleep and still get off a super effective move on either one of his Lapras or his Togekiss. So actually just one turn kind of turned the whole battle around for me. He's gonna bring out his laptop. I almost said laptop. Hitmontop again. He's gonna go for the well, he's gonna get off the Intimidate. Doesn't really matter though, because I don't have any physical moves present on the field. But that's fine though. The Max Lightning does hit the Hitmontop. It doesn't do too much damage, but I'm not really looking for damage right now. I'm just looking for the sleep immunity. So I do fire off the Nightshade over there, and that is actually enough to KO the Togekiss. So things are finally starting to look up for me right here. He only has his Hitmontop and his Lapras. Hitmontop, I could fire off a Will-O-Wisp where I could just double target it. I mean, really anything should be able to kill it from here. I am just going to go for the Protect though, because he's probably going to be able to outspeed me. I don't want him getting off a close combat. Even though I am also immune to critical hits with my ability Shell Armor, I really just don't want him, to get off a big hit with the close combat. So he's going to go for the Freeze Dry, targeting my Dusclops. It's not going to do anything. Even if it crit me, it wouldn't do anything. So Hitmontop does go down to the Nightshade. And unfortunately, this is going to be the last turn for my opponent, and unfortunately for me as well, because my opponent actually kind of rage quits right here and presses the power button But I mean, that's okay. We are playing ranked, so the points will still go to me. I'll still get the win. But I mean, come on, don't be salty. Just take the L and forfeit. Don't waste both of our times, you know. But anyways, GG to the first one. I guess GG to the second guy as well. But you know, whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Next time I'll probably only upload one battle per video because this was pretty long. I'm not very good at narrating double battles, as you could probably tell. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a nice day, everybody. Bye.